Hey everyone, in today's video I'm going to show you how to make some hydrangeas. I've got some 20 gauge wire and I'm cutting each strip into 4. So the wires don't need to be too long for this. And I've got some modelling paste. I'm just dipping the end of the wire into some water and I'm just going to put on a tiny little bud on the end, and this is going to give us the centre of our hydrangea. And then I'm just going to mark in a cross on the top. So I'll just show you that again. So I've got a wire that I've dipped in water, a tiny teardrop shape. We're going to pop that on, and I'm just twisting it back and forth between my fingers just to attach that to the wire. And then we're just going to mark in that cross over the top. So you should have something that looks similar to this. Now I've done quite a few of these, put them to one side to dry. And now we're going to go on to making the flower. So I'm just rolling out a piece of sugar paste and we're going to make a nipple in the middle. So we're just going to push into the centre and then roll out. We're going to keep going round until you get this sort of like little nipply bit on your fondant. And then I've got a hydrangea cutter and I'm just going to pop that over, making sure that the nipple is in the middle, taking off any of the excess. And then just with a petal pad, we're going to frill out those edges just to make them a little bit thinner. And then I have this veiner tool here for the hydrangea, and we're just going to pop it in. Now we're not going to close it up because we're going to squash the nipple bit if we did that, but I'm just pressing with my finger on there just so that we can get those veins in. And then with a scalpel, I'm just going to push in to the centre, being careful not to go all the way through, but we just want to make those leaves a little bit bigger. And a little bit of water into the middle. We're just going to lift those leaves up a little bit. And then what we're going to do is we're going to thread through our centre that we've made. So you're just going to push that through. Now just be careful that when you're pushing it down, you're not actually lifting the centre off of the wire. And then we're just going to pinch it at the bottom and twist until it starts to go down the wire. So you can see there that it's gone down the wire. And then we're just going to push the petals into the shape that we want them into. So I'll show you that again. So just with a little bit of modelling paste, I will put a link in the description box below for everything that I've used. We're going to push in and push out and do that until you get this small nipple at the back of the fondant. Using our cutter, we're going to put that in the middle, and then we're going to use our petal pad. So for this one I'm putting in the lines sooner, just to separate those off, just so that when I smooth over I can get to the bottom as well. And then into the veiner, we're just going to push down with our fingers. And a little bit of water in the middle. And then we're going to thread through and push in. So you need to be careful that when you're making the centres, the little bit on the wire, that you're not making it too big and it's not too high, because if it's too big, when you come to put it into the actual petal area, it can look a bit big and deformed. So it's best just to keep it small. So I'll show you one more. So we've made the nipple in the back of the fondant. You're going to put in the lines with the scalpel just to make the petals a little bit longer. You're going to smooth over with a ball tool. So we're not frilling it, we're just making the edges thinner. And then with the veiner tool that we have, we're going to use one side and we're just going to push the petals down onto there. And then we are going to put a little bit of water in the middle, and then we are going to thread through our centre, pinch underneath it. You can just use a little bit of water if needed. And we're going to start to lift up those petals. Now each one of these should be sort of in a different position. You can twist the petals even. So here's a few that I have made. Just left them to dry like that. And then I'll show you how to tape them together. Now I usually like to tape together in groups of 3, 5 or 7. I just find that odd numbers tend to look better together. So I've just got some floral wire, and we're just going to tape around each of our flowers. So just going all the way to the bottom and trimming off the excess. Now this tape, you do have to pull it to make it sticky before you start going. So if you just wrap it around the top and then just twist between your fingers all the way to the bottom, and then just trim off any excess. And so when we're going to put them together, you're going to group them together at different heights, but sort of all roughly the same heights, if that makes sense. So you kind of want some to sit under the others and some to sit above. So I'm going to do a group of 5 here, and I'm going to just spread them out a little bit and pinch them together. Now be careful that when you pinch them together they're not touching each other, because sometimes that can cause the petals to break. And then we're just going to twist one wire around all of the wires, and this just helps keep them in place so that when we're taping them up they're not moving about too much. So the same method as before, we're just going to tape all the way down to the bottom, trimming off the excess and just twisting it and folding it so none of the wire is actually visible. So here's what it should look like once you've finished. And then here's the cake that I use these on. So I do have tutorials for the rose and for the little blue flowers as well on my channel. Here's the finished cake. I hope you have enjoyed today's tutorial. If you have, please leave a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And if you'd like to see more of my videos, please click the links on the screen now. Thanks for watching.